that time of the month, and I'm coming to you guys with welcome to another video. It's that time of the month, and I'm coming to you guys with another monthly wrap-up video. I'm going to show you the books I read in the month of November. It was it was a lovely reading month. However, I read a lot of sad books, and it was a bit of a roller coaster for me. Like, it was a lot of emotional books, but it was a good reading month, and I loved all the books I read in the month of November. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to show you the books in the order in which I read them. At the beginning of the month, I started with this book. It's Blind Fury by Linda LaPalette. This book is a crime book. Is about crime. There was a murder of a lady at a motorway service station, and this is a story of a detective, Anna Travis. That's the name of the detective, Anna Travis, trying to uncover and unravel the murder of the victim, the person that died. And there was an inmate to whom she was part of the team of detectives that investigated his case, and he was eventually convicted. And that inmate sent her a mail telling her that if she wants to unravel this particular death, that she needs him because he has intel on what he was going to tell her and all that. So this book started with, like, to stop the person who is killing all these people, because it was actually multiple murder. At the end of the day, they were able to discover like 4 to 5 murders which were related to this particular one. So in order for them to stop this killing, do they need to trust that particular inmate that was in prison, something Cameron, and it was just her trying to unravel this crime, and he was obsessed with her. I cried at the end of this book. It was so amazing and so nice. Like, it's a good book, and I rate this a 4 star. I rate it a 4 star. It's really, really amazing and good. Even 4.5 star. I'm going to rate it a 4.5 star. It's an amazing book. It was nice, and it was unpredictable what happened at the end of the day. So that's that. And then secondly, after that, I was like, okay, after all this crime and everything, I need to a bit of break. Let me go into romance. As you know, I hardly read romance books, but I read them once in a while. And I picked up this book, Reminders of Him by Colin Hoover. Guys, this book made me tear up. Like, I literally cried. And after I'd finished reading it, my heart felt so heavy. It felt so heavy. It felt like I knew these characters. It felt like they are people that I know on a personal level, because I kind of connected with them. Like, you become addicted to them. It's a story of a lady who her name is Kenna. There was an accident, and then her boyfriend died, Scotty, and she was convicted for the murder of the manslaughter. She was convicted for that to 5 years imprisonment, and then after serving her term, she came out and was trying to connect with her daughter, which she gave birth to in prison, and then she was subsequently collected her by the parents of her boyfriend. So it was her trying to get to meet her daughter and all that, and what really happened during the accident and all. I cried, like, I bawled my eyes out with this book. It was just so amazing. But it's Colin Hoover, like everyone knows her, and this is my like very first book of Colin Hoover. Right now, I am going to buy 2 of her books. It ends with us and it starts with us. Those are the next books I want to read of Colin Hoover. I'm not a huge romance lover, but this book, it was just too emotional and amazing. I kept on repeating the story in my head. I felt like I'd known that, like, I'm going to read this book again. I know for certain, for sure, that I'm going to read it, and I rate this book a 5 star. It was an amazing book. Yeah. Then after that, I kind of picked another book, and I was like, okay, let me go back into the crime, whatever. And I picked up this book, A Commonplace Killing. This author is Shian Bosby. I don't know if that's how to pronounce the name, by Shian Bosby. It is a really amazing book, and I learned that the author is even dead. She died of cancer, and this book was interpreted and published by another person. It's also about crime. A woman's body was found in a bomb site in Holloway Road, and this story follows the investigation and the police trying to unravel the death of Lillian. It was a nice book, but it was just okay for me. So it was nice and it was just okay. So I rated it a 3 star. It was a good read too. So, and at the end of the story, the plot twist, it was just unpredictable, but it was so nice and it was fine. So I rated it a 3 star. Then after that, I picked up this book and I read it. Wonder. This is a young adult book, but I'm telling you, it was an amazing book. It was a great read. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed it more than you can imagine. It's a story of a child who was born, August. His name is August. He was born with a face deformity and all that. He struggled through, and he was homeschooled by his mother. And then when he was about starting his 5th grade, his mother enrolled him in school. This was a story about his struggle trying to settle in the school, bullies in school, and the way people react to him based on his facial deformity and all that. I cried at the end of this book, and it was an amazing book too. It was great. I rate this book also a 5 star. It's young adult. I feel like teenagers should read this book because it will make them understand and know what compassion and kindness does to people. I feel like this is something that you should give your child while he's growing up to read. Even as an adult, you can read it and it will motivate you on like certain things in life, and that what people do, um you must not necessarily be mean to people simply because they are mean to you. You can still win over people by your strength and your act of kindness. Basically, that is what I'm saying. So it's really, really a nice book. Its name is called Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and it's a really, really nice book. It follows through the life of August and his family, his sister. It tells the story through different points of views. There's a POV of August himself, his sister Olivia, his his friend, best friend Jack, his sister's boyfriend, and his friend Summer. So you'll see different point of views while the storyline continues. So it was really, really a great read, and I totally enjoyed it. So pick this book up and read it if you haven't. Yeah, I cried also. So overall, this month it was just cry month for me, but I enjoyed all of the books I read. And the last book I read in the month of November is this book, The Alchemist. This book, I've been hearing a lot of stuff. So like, I've been hearing a lot of people rave about it, that it's a nice book and whatever. And then I picked it up and read. But it's not like it's not a good book. It's a good book, but I was kind of disappointed. It's has to do with a boy who was trying to realize his destiny and who went on a search for his treasure, looking for his personal legend. He went to Egypt, to the pyramids, and so on. It was his journey trying to discover his um personal legend. It's a good book, but it was too fictitious for me. Like, I know it's fiction, but it was just too fake. There were certain things that were just too. It was. Imagine the wind speaking to someone, the sun, and all that. It felt like a cartoon. It felt like a joke, honestly. But the main message itself is nice. But I didn't like that too fictitious aspect of it. But it was a nice book overall. Felt like he's a philosophical writer. The book felt just too um, philosophical and fictitious for me, but it was nice. The general message in the book itself was cool and it was okay. And I would rate it a 2.5 star. I was debating between rating it a 3 star and a 2 star. I felt 2 star was too low for the book. It was a nice book, and I felt 3 star was just too. I'm very critical with my rating, so I rated it a 2.5 star. Honestly, I have come to the end of today's video. I hope you like this video. Share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching all of my videos, and I appreciate you guys. Love you.